Having data is one thing, but finding patterns in it, that's what actually matters. In this video, I'll show you how to sort and group data in Pandas to extract real insights. So far we have learned how to explore, index and filter data. Now we are going to use that to actually analyze it. So for this tutorial, we are creating an input.csv. Let me open it here. As you can see, we have three columns, one by the name of user, port and failures. For users, we have different entries, then we have some port numbers and the failure count. So we will use this mock dataset to do our tutorial. Let's go back. So first, let's import Pandas and then open the file. So let's copy the relative path, paste it, escape it, and we only want to open it in read mode. And let's put it inside a data variable. Okay, so we have loaded the file inside the data variable. Now let's get started. So first we have sorting data. To sort data based on a certain column, we can use the sort values option. So for example, let's create a new data frame by the name of new data. And inside this, let's do data.sort values and we can specify by which column. So in this case, let's sort it by number of failures. So we will do it failures and let's print new data and also data. So as you can see, first we had new data. So we have sorted it in ascending order by the failures. This confirms it. And for the data, you can see it remains original as we had here. So what it means that if you use this function, it does not update the data frame. It only stores this value inside a new data frame or returns that. Next we have, what if we wanted to change the order from ascending to descending? So using the same fundamentals, we only have to add one more parameter here, which is ascending is equal to false. And now if you print, let's forget this, let's directly enter it here. And now if you print this, here you can see the order has reversed. So descending order is useful for finding highest values. For example, finding the most targeted ports or finding the user with most failures. So next we have, what if we wanted to sort using multiple columns? So what we mean is, let's comment it out and paste it again. In this case, as you can see, it's already sorted. But whenever there is a collision, for example, in this case, where we have Kunal 443, Kunal 53, both have 7 values. So to add another column as a sorting parameter, for example, port, what we can do is we can add a square bracket and inside this pass the other column, which is port. So what it will do is it will sort by failures first and then it will sort by port. So let's remove the ascending one and run this one. So as you can see here, we had 3 rows which had same value of failures, 777. And inside this, we have again sorted it using port, which is 53, then 80, and then 443. So this is how you can do it using multiple columns. Next, we can move ahead to the grouping part. To group data based on a column, you can write something like data.groupby and then the column name. In this case, let's do user. So if you run this, and even if you try to print it, you won't see very fruitful results because it alone doesn't give any insights. We need to use any aggregation. So in this case, let's try to use dot count here. And now if you run this, This will tell you how many records exist per group. So here we had 5 different users, Alice, Bob, Kunal, Mukul, 4 different users, and how many records exist. So we had 2 records for Alice, 3 for Bob, 3 for Kunal, and 2 for Mukul. We can also do something like use sum instead of count. And now you will see some sum here. So what it means is that for the user, let's say Alice, the sum of all port values is 43. So if you go back and select Alice, we have 2 entries. So port is 22 and 21. It becomes 43. Of course, in this case, it's not very helpful. But if you go to the failure section, you can see Alice had first 5 failures and then 9 failures. So a total of 14 failures. So for this column, this becomes quite useful to get the sum. So now we are getting a total activity per user. And this can help in identify spikes in activity. So what if you want multiple insights for the same column? So what I mean is that before using sum, let's select one particular column. So in this case, it was failures. So we group by user and then look at only the failures column. So now what we do is we try to get different aggregations. In this case, let's get the count, the sum, and the mean. And here you can see, first we had the count, which as previously is the number of different rows we have for these users. Then we have the sum, which we covered previously. Alice had 14 failures in total. And then the mean of those values. So using these aggregation, you can combine multiple insights. And this is where analysis becomes powerful. Now one more thing we can do here is sort values. So what I mean is that if you comment it out and write something like data.groupby and group by user again, and let's look at only the failures column. And now we are looking at the total failures using sum. But if we want to sort them, we can do sort values. And let's look at in descending order, since that makes more sense. So now we can see Kunal had most failures, 26, followed by Mukul, Alice, and Bob. So now we can rank groups. This is exactly how analysts extract insights from raw data. Now you can explore, filter, and analyze data, which is the foundation for real-world data analysis. This completes the Pandas series. Next, we will apply this to real datasets and automations. Until that, like, share, and subscribe to secure your feed, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep defending.